prevention, first principle. We can argue with facts, we can argue with opinions, we can argue with, dapat nga facts, hindi tayo nag-argue, pero principles, we cannot argue, di ba? So let's agree, prevention is better than cure.
O mga kababayan, narinig nyo yung sinabi dito sa umpisa ni Senator Cayetano, ito laban dito sa gobyerno mga kababayan, na kung saan ginawa na nilang bisyo itong corruption dito sa gobyerno natin. Panonoodin natin yan mga kababayan, pero bago nating umpisan yan, isang like, subscribe lamang po para updated po tayo dito sa kaganapan sa ating bansa. Pero eto na po mga kababayan, umpisa na po natin tong video na to.
So all of those are covered except for the constitutional bodies, the legislature, and the judiciary, Mr. President.
Okay, so judiciary, constitutional bodies like COA, CSC, COMELEC, and then Congress. Magkano po budget nyo?
Po for 2026, ang proposed is 519 million, Mr. President.
Okay. And more or less, magkano po, sorry Chairman, you might not be, or we can go back to it, but more or less the ombudsman is 4 or 5 billion, di ba? Something.
It's about 6 billion, Mr.
6
President.
billion. And the COA is around
16 billion, Mr. President.
yeah, 16B.
16B ang
Okay.
COA.
No, so the first point I want to
Billions.
make is that we have an agency. I'm not saying you're really good. I'm not saying you're really bad, the officials there. I'm just saying an objective look at it. Merong kang ombudsman na sakop lahat,
Kengkoy.
kasama yung tatlo na sinabi niyo po
Ombudsman na
kanina,
Kengkoy.
pero may 6B. Meron ka rin COA na sakop din lahat na may 16B, pero may anti-red tape ka na 519B. So
Million.
Million.
Yes.
So my point is, I might criticize a little bit now, but I want to temper it that we're also not giving you what you need to be able to cover all the agencies. Okay, so this part of the preliminary. So given the limited budget and personnel, what do you focus on? What does the head of the ARTA and his team now focus on? Is it more systems? Do they look at the part? I mean, with a limited budget and such big scope, you have to prioritize. No? Nutshell lang naman, Mr. Chairman. I mean, I don't expect naman. I know everything is a priority, but when everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. So, given their budget, given the time limitation, are they focusing on the digital? Are they focusing on frontline? Are they focusing more or less lang po? More or less. I'll not take it against them pag hindi nasama sa focus. No?
Yeah.
Baka,
No, Mr. President, based doon sa aming budget hearing, ang focus ho nila is first yung systems. They also analyze the systems, let's say, of LGUs and agencies. Nagbibigay sila ng suggestions. They also analyze the systems of different sectors like the telecom sector, like yung business sector. So that's one. Number two will be digitalization. Ito napag-usapan ho namin sa hearing rin na we cannot fight red tape without digitalization. So yan rin po yung kanilang isang binibigyan ng focus, and also accountability, of course. So meron ho silang mga accountability mechanisms to make LGUs, NGAs, and government agencies accountable if they are not fighting red tape. So yun po yung tatlong focus nila, Minority Leader.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chair. So, given that, I'd request the Chair to study if they can give us the right answers kung if we give them additional money, ilalagay. So, dito ko na i-preface, no? Kasi ang pagkaintindi ko, when I first entered government, ang tingin ko sa graft and corruption, iisa yon. So whether it's bribery, direct, indirect bribery, malversation, humingi ka ng projects, graft and corruption yon. But later on in my life as a public servant, it was explained also to me, and I saw it with my own eyes, that if there are unreasonable delays, inefficiencies, maaring hindi kumita ang isang public official, pero graft yun. So in my mind, dun ko, I'm not supplanting my position with the law. Of course, the law is very clear, whether it's RA 6713 or the plunder law or the revised penal code. Ang sinasabi ko lang, Mr. Chairman, di ba, na klaro yun pag sinabi mong halimbawa, si letter A, may ganitong project, hindi na ginost nila, hati-hati sila, 20, 20, 30, 30. Klarong graft and corruption. Etong frequency na to, maganda. Wag na natin ibidding. Bibigyan ka ng 50 million, ibigay mo. Oh. Klarong corruption yung mga yon, di ba? But yun nga, for example, an agency delays approval of something wittingly or unwittingly, whether, wag mo na sabihin, walang malis, hindi kumita, walang kinita, hindi siya galit sa applicant. For example, no, ngayon, let's say, Sexani is here para sa DepEd, di ba? Na for one reason or the other, delay after the delay, we didn't build classrooms. So every year that you don't build classrooms, and if it takes 2 years for a multi-level, meaning more than 2-3 floors na classroom, di ba? Every year may students kang nagsasuffer, di ba? Or kaya wala pa tayo sa discussion na to sa DPWH pa, pero ang flooding will continue. Pero kung wala tayong flood control funds next year, walang mag-a-accuse sa atin ng graft because it's our discretion whether we put it or not, whether we put flood control money or not. But 10 years from now, if Bulacan and Cebu is still flooded because we did not put the right money next year, I'm talking about theoretically or in concept, may graft, no? But para idiin ko lang, it's more of, we're talking more of the executive implementing the law sa daily lang, di ba? So, magtatayo, let's say, ng joint venture ang PhilHealth at isang laboratory, pero from the barangay to the city hall to whatever, instead of they can build in 6 months, they build in 2 years, di ba? 1.5 year ang nawala sa tao yung serbisyo na ibibigay sana ng PhilHealth, no? So my point is, if we keep saying that prevention is better than cure, bakit mas malaki ang pera na binibigay natin sa watchdog at saka sa taga-prosecute, sa COA at saka sa ombudsman, kaso sa dito sa magpre-prevent, di ba? So I'll stop there, and that's the good news side of my questions. I'll try not to masyadong bad news, but konting neutral, no? So sa World Bank po kasi meron silang business registration efficiency. In 2020, Philippines required 33 days to start a business. 13 procedures, the score was 71.3. At that time, hindi ko pa kilala masyado si former ARTA head Jeremiah Bellica, but he did a couple of amazing things during that time, no? So contributing to the rank of 95th. But in 2024, 2025, kung kailan natigil naman yung pandemic, business-ready indicators now show 75 days for domestic firms and 106 days for foreign firms, signaling worsening bureaucracy and slower interagency process. Okay, let me be clear. Hindi ko sinisisi ang ARTA. Hindi kayo yung nagpatagal. Di ba? Yung nagpatagal kung sino man yung
mga boya
ng kanilang mga requirements. So from 33 days, naging 75. However, in a sense, I'm holding accountable ARTA kasi kayo taga-monitor. At dapat tuloy-tuloy na binabantayan nyo to. So, why? Why from 33 days to 75 to 106 days? Has ARTA made a study and are they aware of the problem?
Let's go, Win Gatchalian. Sumagot kayo.
Dito po sa Be Ready business Be Ready report, nasa second quintile tayo, top 40% of the 50 economies. Admittedly ho, malayo ho yan, top 40, meaning nasa kalahati lang ho tayo. Ang target po ng ARTA is to become hopefully top 20 by 2028. So yun po yung kanilang target.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm not so much for that statistics kasi nga kontrolado lang natin Pilipinas na karaniwan hindi pa nga. Hindi naman gaano ka-efficient ang Singapore, ang Japan, etc. No? More concerned ako doon sa kung totoong from 33 days to 75 days. Ba't nagkaganon? Di ba kumbaga parang nagkasakit tapos nung nabinat, mas masama pa. True story to Mr. Chairman. Before the pandemic, I was just walking sa Fort. I think sa Toby's Estate, favorite ni Ate Pia na coffee place. Yung sa likod ng Shangri-La, di ba? It's nice to walk there. So, I was having coffee there. I met a Singaporean couple and parang tingin nila sa BGC Taguig is parang Little Singapore. So, nung nalaman nila asawa ko yung mayor, they were asking, ganyan, madali bang magtayo ng business? So, tinanong ko lang pabalik sa kanila, how long for to put up a business sa Singapore? Sabi niya 2 to 3. So, sabi ko 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months. Tapos, while I was asking, parang gumanon na sa mind ko na, baka naman 2 to 3 days, nakakaya naman tanong ko 2 to 3 weeks.
Yan.
Sabi na, no, 2 to 3 hours.
Nako.
Okay, so, siguro malayo yung 2 to 3 hours sa 33 days.
Okay,
Ngayon, 75 days. I mean, if you are as shocked as I am, we don't have to finish this now and today. But can you prioritize that? Kasi, you know, it's a cycle. If we collect more, if there's more business, you collect more taxes, more people have jobs, we will spend less on, di ba? Anyone making a lot of money will not go to public health centers, will not go to public school. Then we can also give you more money. But is there, I mean, Mr. Chairman, are they as shocked as I am here, or is there some kind of, I mean, suddenly ba may bumagal lang ba, or may nag-add ng mga requirements? Bakit naging ganito? Or have we talked to the World Bank to ask them apples to apples ba tong 2020 nila na 13 procedures, 33 days? Paano talaga naging 75 days? Tapos pag foreign firms, no? Alam niyo po, Mr. President, I think, I don't know the specific statistics now, but at one point in time, I think Singapore got 40 to 70% of all American investments in Southeast Asia. No, and one way to do it, nagkaroon sila ng department, tagaligaw ng foreign investments, tapos one-stop shop. We can argue that they're a city-state, di ba? But parang nakikriticize ang presidente, billion ang gastos pag nag-abroad. And I'm not talking about President Marcos. Each and every president I've known have been criticized for going abroad. May figure sila ng promised foreign investment. But if kung foreign investor ka and you go to Vietnam and it takes you 30 days, for example, I don't know how fast or slow, but you go to Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore. Wag na Singapore kasi napaka-efficient talaga. I mean, above the rest ang Singapore. But let's say you go to Malaysia, Vietnam, or Indonesia, and you can put up a business in 30 days. I mean, you can argue na, pero ang Malaysia, ilan million sila? 40 ba? 60. Ang Pilipino, 110 million. So baka mas maganda market dito. Pero ang Indonesia, 300 million eh. So parang, we're throwing things in the wind if we keep saying that ang problema lang kuryente, ang problema lang labor. Tapos it takes 100 days just to put up a business. And after this, I'm going to BIR taxes, which is even worse. So Mr. Chairman, just before we leave this topic, may sense ba yung ARTA or may ongoing bakit naging explanation ba't naging 75 to 106 days?
Well, to be honest, Mr. President, ako nagulat rin ako dahil nung nagkaroon ho tayo ng ARTA, ang na-expect ho natin mas bumilis yung proseso, especially ngayon that internet is commonly used already. So I was also surprised. Natanong ko nga si DG, bakit lalong naging worse yung ating starting up a business. Naging doble yung number of days to start a business. So for me, that's no excuse kasi basic po yan eh. Dapat talagang maiayos yan. At yung mga investors, sinabi ko nga kanina, mga investors, ang tinitignan nila yung proseso natin, how fast they can set up businesses, especially mga small and medium enterprises. So ako, there's no excuse, Mr. President, Minority Leader, na nangyari yan. And I was assured by the Director General na by next year, isa-set up na nila itong Central Business Portal, which aims to shorter the time of business registration. So lahat po nandito na sa portal. This will be a cooperation in the DICT and also ARTA. But I share your sentiments, Mr. President, na may ARTA na nga tayo. Dapat nag-i-improve yung process. Ako naniniwala.
May ARTA pero panay arte yung ibang mga agencies.
Kaya nga ho eh. So from kung kaya ho ng Singapore na 2 to 3 hours, dapat kaya rin ho natin, especially with the use of internet.
Mr. President, one thing I noticed
with the permission of the
go ahead.
sponsor and the interpellator, the chair will just interject. I principally authored and sponsored RA 9485. Ito yung nagpasa sa Anti-Red Tape Act way back in 2007. Ang recollection ko, yung original version as passed, pag simple transactions, 3 days. Pag complex, 5 days. Pag hindi na-approve, pag hindi na-aksyonan, is that 5 days or 10 days? 7 days. Anyway, pag hindi na-aksyonan, within 3 days, deemed approved. And merong sanction doon sa agency na hindi nag-act on the whatever application. So my question is it still being followed strictly?
Yes, Mr. President, that's being strictly implemented, Mr. President.
Bakit 75 days yung narinig natin? Parang yun ang norm. Kung 3 days and... Ba't naging 7 days? Ang recollection ko, 5 days eh.
Ang explanation ho sa akin, Mr. President, ng ating DG, maraming dinadaanan na agencies. For example, Securities and Exchange Commission, DTI, BIR. Then nakukuha rin sila certification from SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and then after that, pupunta sa LGUs.
Yes, I understand, Chairman Sherwin. That makes it a complex transaction. Kasi maraming agencies na dadaanan. And there's a period required under the law na kailangan maaksyonan. I think during the deliberations, lahat ito na-consider. Pagka yung simple transactions, ito yung single agency. So even if there are other agencies involved, merong talagang period required na kailangan ma-aksyonan, ma-approve or ma-disapprove. Otherwise, deemed approved. So nangyayari ba yung merong deemed approved? Parang wala eh.
Ganyan ka-corrupt ang Pilipinas, mga kababayan, no? Walang sinabi sa mga Singapore kasi nga po.
The way I understand it, Mr. President,
Ginawa nilang bisyo yung
yung deemed
corruption.
approved, meron pong dalawang requirements. The payment of fees and also the documentary requirements. As long as itong dalawang requirements are fulfilled, pwede hong matrigger yung deemed approved, Mr. President. But in practice, sabi sa akin, DG, it's being practiced po. But you need to have those 2 requirements, Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished minority leader and the sponsor. Thank you very much.
No, actually, I should thank you, Senator, and honor you. I remember that time kasi katabi ko ata si Joel Villanueva nung siya nag-sponsor sa House, nung nag-thank you sa inyo, nung eventually napasa kasi it's an anti-red tape bill but there was resistance eh. Di ba? Maraming mga agencies who were giving their reasons. And that's my point later eh, yung yung when do you delay the whole permit because may dahilan yung ibang agency sa iba. But just reflecting sa sinabi ni Senator Lacson, is it possible that if it is a complex transaction, you identify who is the primary agency? Diba? So, kasi let's go through it. For example, he's putting up an ice plant. So from the barangay to the city, DTI, then let's say it's a corporation, SEC. I don't know ngayon kung ang alam ko yung ice plant ngayon wala ng franchise. Nung araw may congressional franchise pa yan. So let's say kailangan ng ECC because of the area, 'di ba? Tapos depende kung nasaan ka, may ibang mga permits. If you identify the city or the SEC as the primary, then sila ang magbibilang nung 20 days, di ba? Kasi kung hindi, ang mangyayari, barangay. So, pag sinabing 3 days or 2 days, deemed approved. Ang problema, pagpunta ng city, anong tatanggapin nila na deemed approved? Kasi usually, ang dala nila yung application, tapos may date, tapos away pa sa city. Hindi, boss, hindi binigay so deemed approved. So, that will take a day or 2. Assuming mabilis din yung city, di ba? So that's why nag-accumulate yung ano ba yung rule? 3-7-20. Di ba? Wag niyong itataya yan. 3-7-20. Hindi tumatama kaya wag niyong itataya. Hindi nga tumatama, hindi nagagawa, no? So, my point, Mr. Chair, after reflecting sa sinabi ni Senator Lacson, ang red tape at ang corrupt at ang inefficient, nag-i-innovate yan especially kung the inefficiency leads to corruption. Diba, there are 2 kinds of inefficiency or 3 kinds Yung unwittingly, yung talagang ano lang, they want to make sure they do everything by the book, so it turns out longer. The second one is tamad. The third one is the longer it takes kasi more magbibigay para mapabilis. Diba? We believe it or not, Mr. President, isipin niyo po sa passport. Sa passport, nung nadidelay, ang iba nating OFW pala, yung recruiter, nagbabayad ng 50 mil per passport. So nung tinanong ko sa recruiter, sa recruitment agency at mga taga-POA, ba't naman kayo magbabayad ng 50,000? Sabi, boss, 3,000 ang sweldo ng OFW, ready na yung employer. 6 months na didelay yung passport. Di nawala sila 6 times 3, $18,000. $1,000 yung passport, bibigay ko. So anong natuklasan namin dun sa DFA? May isang McDonald's or Jollibee, meron silang computers doon or laptop, pinupuno nila ang appointment, tapos ibebenta nila. Tapos yung iba may kakuntsaba pa na na travel agency. So my point is, if they innovate, we also have to innovate. It's not going to be easy. But your job is not to make it easy your job is to make it easy for people. Your job, nakakainis man minsan, di ba? I mean, kung mayor ako or secretary ako ngayon, maaring inis ako sa ARTA. But that's your job, to make them uncomfortable so that people will be comfortable. Di ba? Kasi to my second point, doon sa 2024 World Bank study, Be Ready, B as in beta, report shows that although Philippines ranked 16th in regulatory framework pillar, which is good, it performed poorly in public service operational efficiency pillars, weak performance in areas such as business entry competition, frontline public service deliveries, etc., etc. Di ba? So, well, ang questions na nandito, why, what enforcement, etc. Hindi ko na isa-isahin, but banggit lang ako isang example. Tatanungin ko to kay Secretary at sana payagan ako ng chairman na si Secretary Herbosa mismo ang sumagot. No? Every year, ang laki ng HPEP para sa health centers. Every year nag-aagawan, ayaw nila i-itemize. So siya nagsasabi kung kanino mapupunta. And then after 2-3 years, Nakalamsam yun eh. Di ba correct? I mean,
Meron pong annex, Mr. President.
pero pag annex, napapalitan eh, di ba? During the year.
During the year.
Oo.
Yeah. I mean, during the budget process.
Implementation, yeah.
Kinakabit na ho ngayon ng, kinakabit po sa
Sige,
budget.
but my point is this, no? Dapat, part ng efficiency, anti-red tape, alam mo na, eto yung dami ng barangay, eto yung walang health center, eto lalagyan mo. Kaya nga nilalagay ng kontratista, di ba? This is the amount, 40 million, 180 days to comply. Kung yung kontratista, pinipinalize natin, at least now, kung hindi niya matapos 80 days, what about DOH? Di ba? So from the time we approve it in December, gaano katagal bago nyo ilabas yung plano, bago kayo magmowa sa DPWH, tapos nakita ko si Sec. Herbosa, nag-i-inspect, tapos nagugulat siya dahil panay halaman na yung hindi natapos. Unlike DPWH, pag gumawa ng flood control, pera ng DPWH yun. Ang nagbabantay dapat nun, DPWH. Ang DOH, pera to ng DOH eh. So ba't siya nag-i-inspect nung natiwangwang na? Eh may regional director siya eh. So nung inumpisahan, hindi nila tinignan. O tapos nung nag-delay siya pa magpapabida para pumasyal siya doon. Tapos kaya lang pala pumasyal doon, mag-abroad na ulit. Actually, akala nung DH secretary, DFA secretary siya eh. Mas marami pa ata siyang abroad sa DFA eh. No, but seriously, Arta, I don't want you to impeach the whole cabinet, but my rule, in areas that I have authority, no, that's not much areas, but like in my office, simple ang rule ko. Hindi ako naghahanap ng sasampulan. Si Senator Lacson maraming sinasampulan kahit na nung Chief PNP pa siya. Ako ang rule ko, ayoko. Pero wag ka mag-volunteer. So kung may secretary na kayo na nagbo-volunteer na kasi palpak lahat ng ginagawa, delayed ang vaccines, hindi umaabot on time. Yung nilalabas ng gamot, nag-expire na. Yung health center hindi tumatakbo. Tapos sisisihin niya local government. Wala daw doktor. Eh ba't mo binigyan ng health center? Si Sec. Sani Anggaran nandyan sa likod. Hindi magbibigay yan ng school na walang lupa. So pag sinabi ko, boss, pengen naman para sa Taguig, may lupa ba? Yes. Oh. Of course, siya naglalagay ng plantilla, kaya alam niya pag meron o hindi. Siyempre, tatanungin niya, may estudyante pa. Baka naman bukid yon na napakalaki na wala. So, ibig sabihin, ang DOH naglalagay ng health center, hindi mo muna kakausapin yung mayor or governor na may pondo ka ba para sa nurse, may ganyan ka ba? Diba? So, this is all part of anti-red tape. So, again, no, I don't expect you to go through all of it. Senator Lacson, when he was Chief PNP, meron siyang programa about yung, sir, the waistline, no?
34-inch waistline.
Ilan po?
34-inch waistline.
34-inch waistline. I barely made it. So, hindi. Few months ago, nag-36. Buti bubalik sa 34. Pero my point is this. Hindi ginawa ni Sen Ping na each and every single one siya pa tumingin. May chain of command. Tapos kung sino nag-volunteer, after the time na binigay niya mag-exercise, nasampulan. So alam nung buong organisasyon na you mean business. So I don't know, under the law, mas alam ni Senator Tess Daman, Joel Villanueva, happy birthday, Senator Robin. Mas alam ni Senator Ping yung batas sa anti-red tape. But I do know that mula sa kagawad ng barangay or SK hanggang sa presidente, we're sensitive to the media. So, if you remember Noli De Castro, meron silang parang horror role at saka meron silang hoy gising dati. So, again, di ba, if all the agencies, all the departments score 85 or 80 or meron 80, may 90, may 95, okay lang eh. Pero may isang departamento ka, 65, 70, or kung may 5 kang kategory sa kanilang department, 4 out of 5 palpak. Oh, i-horror roll nyo naman. 'Di ba? You have that power na. Hindi naman kayo magpre-press con, hindi naman kayo you just have at the start of the year, eto ang grading system namin ha. So sa lahat ng may infra, ang normal na bidding, let's say, is 30 to 45 days before you bid it out. When you bid it out, you have to award by this date. The contractor, ganito. You have to finish it. It's very scientific and very objective. So pag hindi, mapapahiya. So can you imagine, if I was DPWH, DOTR, DOH secretary ngayon, at pag-start ko pa lang, may metrics na kayong ibibigay sa akin dun sa klaro ha. And it doesn't have to be the whole department. I mean, sa DOH, anong pinaka-importante? Anti-stunting, yung first 1,000 days, yung bakuna, tapos primary healthcare halimbawa, di ba? So you don't have to look at 1,000 things. You just have to prioritize and look at all of this, no? May I ask if this makes sense to them and if they can, they have more than a month this year and then come up with it. I think it was it Congressman Sarmiento ba? Or may congressman dati eh. Ang ginagawa niya sa probinsya niya, may index card siya, may indicator eh. Tapos tuwing budget hearing, pupunta siya sa departamento, whether regional department o bibigyan niya ng grade eh. 85 ka boss, 75 ka boss. Tapos nakalagay doon, bakit ka 75? Sa infra delayed, so 60 ka lang. Sa sagot ng telepono, sulat ganyan, 90
mahina
kasi
kasi itong
mabilis
gobyerno
kang
natin.
sumagot, diba?
Palpak.
Thank you, Minority Leader. That's exactly what our Majority Leader suggested earlier na sinang-ayunan ho natin na ang ARTA dapat meron parang anti-red tape performance review or ease of doing business performance review. Kahit hindi na ho i-gawin sa libro, kahit na i-upload na lang sa internet. So that may scorecard all agencies, all GOCCs, pati LGUs para malaman ho natin
Hina kasi itong gobyerno, mga kababayan, nakakahiya.
sino yung mga magagaling na agencies
Magaling lang
pagdating sa
dumambong.
fighting red tape, ano yung mga best practices ng iba't ibang agencies and LGUs. Sa ngayon ho, walang ganun. Merong awarding every night pero hindi natin alam kung sino rin yung poorly performing. But kanina, na-mention ko meron silang mga top complained agencies na dapat rin i-publish rin yung para malaman din natin during budget hearings. No?
And Mr. Chairman, may I suggest, they just pick yung pinaka-frontline at pinaka-importante, education, health, taxation, pili lang kayo ilan. Pero kailangan kasi January 1 or even before that, para fair, sinasabi nyo na, binabantayan namin to. And you know, if they pass, you're still victorious. Kasi they might have passed because nga alam nila eh. Sino ba nagsabi nun yung scientist na by merely observing, nag-iiba ang kilos ng isang tao. That's why nga hindi daw scientific lahat ng studies because if you know you're being observed, umiiba yung kilos mo. So, I'll speed it up, Mr. Chair, dahil alam ko nakiusap lang tayo kay Senator Pia na para ituloy yung DSWD. But may I take advantage that Senator Joel, Senator Lacson is here, Senator Pia, sa Ways and Means naman siya. Nung hiningi ko sa dating BIR Commissioner kung na-issuean ng LOA ng letter of authority ever in this administration, yung top 15 contractors, sabi niya kailangan executive session. Kailangan naman mag-move tayo para dun lang. Kaya sabi ko nga sa kanya, I think Senator Marcoleta pa ang chairman nun, sabi ko, baka naman pwedeng 5 minutes break, officially it's an executive session, iabot mo sa amin. No? The reason why I ask this, kasi lahat halos ng businessman, maliit, medium, malaki na nakausap ko, pati oligarchs, nalulunod daw sila sa LOA. So so I wanted to find out, is it everyone, including yung contractors or iba lang? And I think it was Senator Erwin Tulfo and there was another, mga 3 senador yung nag-bring up nung nung sa LOA sa BIR. Senator JV has been active on it lately. I've been mentioning it in general. Yung former BIR commissioner, I saw him just before the SONA, I think this last SONA. At sinabi ko, pare, grabe na ang reklamo sa LOA. At saka dati, isang LOA, isang taon. So isang LOA, isang luha. Ngayon daw, iyak ng iyak parate. And di ba na kung iiyak sila kasi nga, they underpaid. Di ba? So kung sila nandaya na LOA ka, buti nga sa'yo. Di ba? Pero kung normal course of business at may mga kailangan kayong i-reconcile, so let me go down then, either mag-react ka ngayon yung Arta sir or later on So halimbawa, pinatawag ng BIR. Sir, parang may mali sa pinail mo. Anong mali? Ito. So usually, yung accountant at sila, magpapakitaan yan. Ang sagot daw kaagad ng BIR ngayon, again, hindi ko nilalahat sa mga nanonood sa BIR, there are some really good people there. But I'm just talking about ito yung ingay sa business community. Imbis na ituloy yung usapan, meaning ilolowa ka ngayon. Okay. Pag nilowa ka ngayon, theoretically, pwedeng buksan ang libro mo. Di naman bubuksan kaagad Magne-negotiate kung paano. Pero dati daw, isang lowa lang sa isang taon. So kung halimbawa, nalowa ka dahil sa income taxes for 2023. Okay. As soon as matapos mo daw, minsan hindi pa tapos, yung lowa ng 2023 for business, for income tax, may lowa ka for 2024. For VAT naman. No? Okay. May mas masama pa doon. Meron palang department order ang DOJ na pag less than 6 years, yung penalty, imprisonment, check ko pa ho to but assuming tama yung mga sumbong sa akin. Pag less than 6 years, wala nang preliminary investigation. So nangyari yun sa Taguig. Tumawag sa akin yung isang businesswoman, sabi sa akin, Sir, may ganito, ganyan, pero natatakot yung brother ko, siya namamahala sa business kasi sa ibang lugar daw, bigla na lang warrant of arrest. So of course, I tried to assure them na in Taguig, we follow the law. Hindi under the mayor ang fiscal, judge, BIR, but we follow the law. Hindi naman pwedeng hindi mo alam, biglang may warrant of arrest ka pala. So I started looking into it. No, again, hindi Taguig per se, but in other areas. So ang ginagawa pala, ilolowa ka, so theoretically, you can look or isusupina ka. And under the law, pagka hindi ka nag-cooperate, may 1 to 2 years kulong na penalty. So if a file sa piskalya, ang piskalya, direct filing. Wala nang preliminary investigation. So doble, triple ang takot ngayon ng businessman. May lowa ka na, nabubuksan lahat ng libro mo, meron ka pang
Warrant.
pwede ka pang magkaroon warrant of arrest. Ito masama. So halimbawa, nilowa ka. Tapos sinabi, makakapag-usap ka ba o hindi? Nag-usap. Pag ipapareceive mo na nag-usap kayo or ire-record mo, ayaw nila. Susulatan ka pa. Sinumbong ko kay Commissioner yon. Nangyari sa isa kong kapatid. May tinatanong, mali lang pala pagkasulat. At 3 usap sila. Habang nag-uusap sila, yung accountant at siya, pinapakita yung dokumento, hindi tinatago, sinasabihan, sulat ng sulat, you're not responding. So sabi niya, paano ang not responding? Nandito sa harap ko yung taga sa'yo. So nagpadala siya ng sulat sa mismong RD. Ayaw i-receive. So in a sense, my friends sa Arta, in a sense, it's not red tape, not in the sense na may sulat tapos hindi sinagot. Pero hindi sinagot ang Diba? So I don't know, this crosses over to corruption, so dapat ombudsman yan. But my point is this. You will be the star of the show, the life of the party, the unsung hero of 2026. If you can sit down, because it's the perfect timing, because we have a new commissioner and we have a new Secretary of Finance. And the Secretary of Finance, number 1, came from the business sector, di ba? Number 2, ang pangalan niya, Go. So ayaw niya ng stop. Ayaw din niya ng red tape. Di ba? Go siya eh. So dapat mabilis. Okay. Having said that, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if we have time. But since in the middle of the budget ng DOF, pinalitan yung secretary at bago yung BIR, although nakasagot naman yung bagong BIR, I have high hopes dun sa bagong commissioner. The point is, nag-announce kagad si Secretary Go na ang kanyang priority is to go against tax evaders. I think part of that was to send a signal kasi mababa confidence sa markets natin. But syempre, kung maganda collection, I think itong fourth quarter, masama talaga ng growth natin. And not finger pointing, no? But ang problema, ang dating sa mga businessmen, dadagdagan ng luwa. Kasi di ba, going after tax evaders and doing it effectively, ang pera mapupunta sa gobyerno. I told that to Secretary, I don't know if naalala ni Commissioner Kim Henares. Nung na-invite kami finally sa Malacanang, I was beside her and I told her, Ma'am, tuwid na daan, pero mas malaki ang napupunta sa ibang kolektor mo kaso sa tuwid na daan. Sabi niya sa akin, di magsumbong kayo. Sabi ko, Ma'am, sinong tangang businessman ang magsusumbong sa inyo? Lalo niyong itatax. Di ba? Any other agency, tayo here, no? The majority leaders here, Senator Amy is here, Senator Lacson. Halimbawa, actual na nangyari sa akin to, ha? BICAM to ng, I forgot what BICAM. May problema ako sa NCR PO. Katabi ko si Senator Drilon, Senator Ping, I don't know kung naalala niya. Sinabi ko, Senator Ping, eto yung sitwasyon, Minidia, ganito, gustong tanggalin ng pulis. He gave me an analysis, tapos sabi niya, eto options mo, Alan, you can write, you can call, di ba? So any agency halos, Chairman, magtutulungan, we call them, di ba? Pero sa BIR, ang hirap tumawag. Dahil pag tinawagan mo, baka akala, pinapadrino mo eh. Baka akala, paano kung totoong tax evader yon o paano kung talagang hindi ano yung libro, di ba? So, my point is, in every crisis, there's a big opportunity. So for ARTA, there's a big opportunity to sit down with the Secretary of Finance and the new Commissioner of... maganda nga yun ngayon kasi bago yung buong team eh. No? Hindi ko tinitira yung dati ha. Of course, Senator Recto ngayon, ES na eh. But what I'm saying that pagka may fresh eh, bago-bago pa ang ating Custom Commissioner, ang ganda nung una niyang ginawa. Pina-declare niya sa lahat ng collectors kung meron silang connection sa mga brokers, di ba? So ngayon may bagong COMELEC, bagong BIR. So Mr. Chair, I have to familiarize myself pa konti, but one point, no? Yung LOA na yan, di ba nasa, well, you were former Ways and Means, so you probably know it better. Di ba, I think it's section 6, no? Na, meron ba dyan? Yeah. Okay. The commissioner or his duly authorized representative may authorize the examination of any taxpayer and assessment of the correction amount of tax, notwithstanding the law requiring prior authorization of any government agency or instrumentality. Under, ang pagkaintindi ko ha, halos never ako nagyayabang, pero hanggang ngayon hindi ko alam paano. Pero ang bar exam ko sa tax was 97. Baka kasi nga sobrang hina ko sa tax, nolyedo yung binasa ko, ganyang kakapal, no? Pero yung practice is much harder, okay? But sa kakabasa ko ng tax, kasi nga napraning akong bumaksak sa tax, 75 lang ang grade ko sa tax 1. Kaya ngayon natatandaan ko pa yung teacher ko na yon, pero 97 sa bar. Ang pagkaintindi ko kasi, pag naglowa ka, may sense ka na niloko yung mga libro eh. So it's an extraordinary measure. It's not an ordinary measure. Bakit po? Kasi pag nag-file ka, whether VAT yan or kung ano man, tinitignan na yan eh. So kaya ka nilolowa, sabi, mukhang nalusutan tayo. Pero nakalagay dito, commissioner or his duly authorized representative. Eh ngayon, halos lahat ng RD nag-i-issue ng LOA eh. So this is the reverse naman ng red tape. This is the reverse of a mayor, a secretary, a bureau head na ayaw mag-delegate. Ito naman, paan sa kanya para tignan niya, parang lahat na lang pwede maglowa, 'di ba? So again, my friend sa ARTA, no, and I'll end here, no. Prevention, first principle. We can argue with facts, we can argue with opinions, we can argue with, dapat nga facts, hindi tayo nag-argue, pero principles we cannot argue, di ba? So let's agree, prevention is better than cure. Oh, 2, if you have too many priorities, you do not have any priorities. That's a principle. Kailangan focus tayo. Okay. 3, at least sa Pilipinas, pag may sinampulan, it works, no? So may I suggest DOH at saka BIR, not para sampulan per se, but take a closer look, work not against them, but work with them. Sir President, thank you for this.
O yan mga kababayan, nakita nyo na itong gobyerno natin na ginawang bisyo ang corruption. O hanggang dito na lang ho tayo mga kababayan. Maraming salamat po. Isang share, like, subscribe lamang po para updated po tayo dito sa mga kaganapan sa ating bansa. Ito po ang News That Matters at lagi po kayo mag-iingat and God bless.